podcast.
Give the people a little back.
All right, so long story short, I mean, I'm gonna say what it is. A group of white men decided to ban abortion in the state of Alabama.
And an old bitter white man is the one
who signed it
into law.
So it's causing a lot of controversy. Obviously, people are pissed. It's basically overturning Roe v. Wade, which basically gives a woman her right to choose, you know, what she wants to do if she is pregnant. And another thing about the Alabama abortion ban, that doesn't matter how you got pregnant. So that rules out, they don't care if it was rape or incest. So, what do you guys think about that?
And it's past 6 weeks, right? Is that, I mean, which you usually don't know. I think the stipulation is if you're past 6 weeks, which is when they have a heartbeat. So, but most people typically don't find out until about 6 or 8 weeks. Like, you wouldn't even know.
Because wasn't it 24 or something before?
Yeah, I think up to 24.
I think each state, because some states you can do late term abortions.
Most doctors won't go past 24 though.
It's another state about to jump on Missouri, right? Yeah. So
it's a few states that have passed those laws, limiting or completely eradicating.
I mean, I think that's absolutely ridiculous. I don't think it's fair. I fully believe that it's a woman's choice, you know, or the choice of the people who conceived this child. What I will say is that it may create more responsibility down the line as far as people using contraception or something like that.
Oh, see, I don't believe that at all.
You don't think so?
Not one bit.
Down the line, I don't know how soon that will happen, but people may be more aware of like, oh, I better not get pregnant.
I mean, I don't think the people who are having abortions are like, yo, I'm trying to get pregnant. Now I found out I'm pregnant and I don't want the baby anymore.
That's honest.
Typically, people who have abortions because you're young, you out here having sex, you living a wild life, you happen. And I'm just saying, like, you just happen to get pregnant, things happen, and you realize that you might not be in a position to take care of this child. You have nothing to offer this kid. And unfortunately, I'm not saying that Tiffany would do this in this situation, but I understand the thought process behind, like, why would I bring a child into this world that I can't take care of? That I'm going to now burden the system with, and they're still not going to have that great of a life. You know what I'm saying?
I fully believe that. I'm sorry not to cut you off, but back to what I was saying, I think that's 100% true. But for instance, if it were me and I knew that abortion is not an option, I would then be more careful from the start. That's what I mean. I think eventually that may happen. Eventually.
No, I understood that. I just don't think people like raw sex. I'm just saying, like, if we don't keep it a buck, like,
keep it 110.
Like,
She just kept it 1,000.
but that's realistic. And
there's birth control
and
there's Plan B.
That's what I was gonna say.
But these states are all. Alabama's got harsh birth control rights too. Like, it's not that easy to just say.
They just don't want you having sex at all.
Yeah, I think that they are just. It's a war on women. You want to control a woman's body, when she can use it, how she can use it, and I truly don't understand it.
So you think this is Handmaid's Tale?
Oh yeah.
I ain't watched that.
Oh,
What?
Well, what's that phrase they be saying? In his eye or something?
Praise be.
You should watch it. It's really good. But yeah, no, it's total bullshit. But I do think, and this is not justifying what they're doing, but I do think there are other options, and people need to be aware of those because now this is a thing. Be aware of birth control. Be aware of Plan B.
Educate yourself.
So you think that they weren't before because they could always fall back on, like, well, I mean,
I'm not saying that they weren't aware, but it was like it wasn't a big deal. Like, I know a lot of people who were like, oh well, we'll just pull out, or oh, I can't get pregnant, or it's not likely, or let me use the ovulating method or something like that, which some people say really does work for them.
I know a few people who actually have gotten pregnant because they were told they can't have kids. Like, end up getting pregnant.
Absolutely. My cousin's like that.
So I think that it's just more of a, okay, well, now I have to take this extra precaution because, I knew about it before, but I wasn't too worried because, there's an option in the back of my mind that this is what I can do. And I'm speaking more of like maybe children or younger people, high school age or whatever, like if I knew, okay, well, this is what I can go do instead, or even when I worked in a school and I would come across young ladies who were pregnant, the moment we tell them, oh, well, I'm not keeping it. Well, you wasn't thinking about that before. So now that you know it's not an option to be like, well, I'm not keeping it, hopefully down the line, you will use your resources. Again, it's total bullshit. You shouldn't tell people that they can't make choices with their own bodies. But my hope is that the rebound effect from that will then be using other resources, using other precautions instead.
See, I've heard people say the complete opposite. They like, oh yeah, people just gonna be out here dying because they're gonna do it like
that too.
Yeah.
The coke,
and I'm like,
the
no.
hanger.
I'm like,
that
just drive to another state.
Get it done. But see, I thought that, like, if you drive to another state with an Alabama license,
they probably will. I don't know. They might.
They should be.
I don't know.
So now you got to be a resident of that state to get care.
Insurance purposes, maybe.
Insurance
if I'm
covers
paying out of pocket, then what does that have to do with anything?
I mean, from a liability standpoint, I don't know all the rules.
I just feel like people wouldn't want to touch that.
Exactly. That's how I feel too. Like, you're not even from here. You go back home and pop
and
off.
you know
Now
what?
I'm in trouble.
That's the other part we left
Like,
out, right?
you know what I mean?
So if the doctor in that state actually gives an abortion, they can get up to 99 years in jail.
Ooh.
So yes, I understand. I understand why if I drove from Alabama to another state to get an abortion, a doctor might be like, I'm not fooling with you.
Right. Let me see your ID. No.
Yeah.
That says Alabama.
All right.
Good day.
But like I said, I mean, I didn't even think about that, but that's very true. People are going to be taking matters into their own hands. You know, I know stories back in the day where people were like jumping off of things to try to not be pregnant anymore, you know? So
People you knew?
Whoa.
Did it work?
No.
I'm
I'm not talking about friends. I'm talking about
Or you assume they
no.
anyway?
I'm talking about like family members and things. We talking back in like the 40s and 50s and shit like that. I'm not talking about nobody I know now. Abortion was around for us. Like,
I'm trying to think. I'm like, who was we hanging
oh
over?
Lord,
Who jumping up stuff, girl? Like, they kid here now?
no. But yeah, I mean, I don't.
Walk this mic here like,
I think this was all an effort. Like, I think it's super odd in the country right now that all of these states just all of a sudden are now handling abortion rights. Everybody's passing something right now. It just seems so odd.
Oh, I got something to read to y'all. So one of my friends posted this today, and I said I was going to read it. It's short. It just says, don't like abortions. Just ignore them, like you ignore racism, white supremacy, homophobia, transphobia, sexism, police brutality, refugees, homeless veterans, climate change, Flint, Michigan residents, Puerto Rico residents, science, facts, Trump's affairs, and 500,000 children who are currently in foster care. Why is this such a big deal?
Yeah, I mean,
It's not.
It's that they're trying to piss people off.
Or distract you.
That's what
so,
I think.
Yeah, Trump can continue with his foolery.
Yeah, because it's not.
It's a pure distraction.
Especially when they talk about, you know, using welfare and WIC or whatever have you that they don't want to give for these children and these families. So now you're going to make it where there's more.
That's
of
another
them.
thing. My thing is, you're setting these people up for failure, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I heard, I don't know if this amount is true, but if you make over, I think, like $300-something a month, you don't qualify for aid.
Over $300?
It might not be that low, but this is what I heard.
Probably
a week.
But a lot of people can make that amount of money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Easily. So it might be kind of hard to get public aid, right?
I mean, the rich need people to remain poor.
I understand
like, you
that.
need a poor population.
These are the people you setting up to not. Okay, let's just keep it real. Who are most likely getting abortions? The people who can't afford kids. You get what I'm saying? Like, so then you're gonna force these people to have these kids they can't take care of. You're not gonna take care of them.
Yeah.
And
you're screwing the child over and down the line.
You got a foster care system, a CPS system that's extremely overcrowded. Where are these kids gonna go? You force a 15-year-old to keep a kid. They don't know how to be a parent. And I'm not saying all 15-year-olds don't, because I know your mama's cousin from back in the day was 15 and had a kid. I get
you're right.
But I'm saying, I'm talking about you force these people to keep these children, to raise them
They haven't been raised
Yeah,
completely.
and
Yeah.
you force me to keep something I don't want. How
It's
do you
a
think I'm
cycle
treated?
of it's a cycle of abuse and
yeah.
just it's all bad.
You are intentionally creating issues for later.
Mhm.
Knowingly doing it. It's all a purpose and a plan to it.
Now I know this is mostly a women's topic, but guys, do you care to weigh in, or what are your thoughts on?
I mean, you're right. It's definitely a women's topic because
I agree.
But it takes two to make a baby.
Hello.
That baby definitely.
well, wait,
It's yours, homeboy.
Wasn't going there.
I'm sorry.
Always offensive. You know what I'm saying?
Ready to pounce.
Perhaps.
Wasn't going there. Only where I was going was that at the end of the day, it's a woman's body. Yeah, it takes two to make a baby, but we sit here and make this baby, and I want to keep it, and you don't. Is it going to take two for you to get rid of it? No. So at the end of the day, it's a woman's decision. It's a woman's. You know, this is not something that should, for one, be handled by a man at all.
I agree.
You know, so yeah, it's
I
not
don't even know
much.
how they even felt okay with
It's not much for a man to
sitting
be
in the room
saying on this
discussing
because
that.
how does a man dictate what a woman does with her body? A woman can't dictate what I do with my body, so
That's like me
Unless
saying
you're
to a man, like, I'm sick of your balls, go cut them off. And we go sign something.
I think you have said that
Holy smokes, man.
It's the same.
That was a left turn.
before. You have said that.
First of all, I could feel you in the corner. He sat up right, like, oh.
Yeah, I felt a little shit.
Wait a minute. Take me.
And another, they have birth control for men.
Yeah, but
It's out.
it's gonna cause a zombie apocalypse.
Man.
That's how these things start in the movie.
I heard about that. I heard about that. I wouldn't take it.
That and the cure for
I'm
cancer.
not taking it.
Why?
That's how all zombie movies
I
start.
just wouldn't.
Because they want to give men birth control?
It didn't
Some
sound. It
awful
didn't sound
medicine.
good. It was like what was it, a pill or something or something?
I think it's pills.
I just wasn't with it.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't
Of course
say-
y'all not with it because they always want the woman to be like, oh, you
Hey.
go get on birth control,
Hey.
even though it makes
Hey,
you flip
I'm
out and get
an
fat.
adult.
Man,
If you taking them pills make you sick when you taking all of that. So I ain't mad at you. If that's not what you want to do, I don't know. You be prepared, man. So
What is be prepared?
Right.
You said keep
Hey,
it
can you
confidential.
elaborate?
no, I'm talking about
You said keep it
If
And
confidential.
be specific.
if I'm
Make
kicking
sure
it with
your man
somebody.
quit.
No, I'm talking about if I'm kicking it.
Switch the
Here you
pillow.
go. If I'm kicking it with somebody
my
like
father
that.
is watching.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah. What's up, Dad? I'm just saying. I'm just saying, be prepared. If I'm kicking it with a girl at a certain level, you know what I'm saying? I'm prepared for what comes. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm having raw sex, I'm prepared for a
For a
child.
baby.
You know what I'm saying? If I'm doing that with her, because you just ain't about to be. I hope you just ain't meeting somebody and then just having get
Right.
it in.
Right, but
off
what's the
rip.
condom break?
If the condom break,
There's
Man.
this thing at CVS called Plan B.
ooh,
Okay, so what if that's his plan to have plan B and she like, got me one?
Oh,
what you mean?
Hold on, wait.
So then again, that's not that.
Wait a
that's
minute.
not
The whole
something
reason of why we started this was because we were talking about women taking pills. Like if he was like, if she don't want to get on birth control, Plan B is also a pill a woman has to take that affects her body
But-
in negative ways.
And you putting stuff in your body that don't belong.
Right, now what if she be like, okay, well, I don't want to get on birth control. I don't want to take Plan B either. What you
no,
gonna
he's
do?
saying be ready for the kid.
Man, yeah, and
Well,
you
well,
not.
wait, though. Hold on.
I hope y'all have a
You
conversation.
like 1 of 10.
But we still have to
That's
go
why I'm
back
single.
to the basis of it all. It's
Niggas gonna
still,
slip that in her drink.
it's still a woman's body. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I
so
agree.
You're going like most of the weight is going to be carried by you by carrying the child, or
I know.
so it's not. You can't be like, well, what you gonna do? Like, it's not much for me to do. Either I can put a condom on, pull out, or now this whole new birth control. Let them run it by a couple people.
Yep.
Couple years. See if anybody fall off. You know what I'm saying? See if anybody fall off the earth.
Treat it like the iPhone.
more than
When
something else.
the new iPhone come out, you just
Yeah,
gonna run
you
out
know,
and get it.
You never be the first person to get it.
See?
See what happens if it works. Nobody grows a third leg. Testicle fall out. Like, let me see what's going on.
I can't take being the first person.
It's like go jump out there and be the test tube baby. Like,
First of all, isn't it FDA approved, which means
What that
several
don't
people-
mean nothing.
do you know what it takes to get something FDA approved?
Not much.
Nothing.
It don't take much.
So they don't have to test this on people?
Yeah, they test it to a degree.
Enough. They be like,
Enough.
yeah. You,
Oh,
They be like, oh, that third leg barely coming in. You good?
oh, that's just a mold.
You can take that off later. Don't worry about it.
That's just a mold. Don't worry about that. Like, that's crazy. However, I
But-
guess
originally, I agree with you guys.
Yeah.
men shouldn't be making this decision. A woman should be able to choose. And another thing I don't like is how they just was like, it's no way out. It's like even if like you get raped, you know what I'm saying, you still gotta have a baby.
Now you know, real quick, sorry, because you just made me think of something. What I really got a problem with is okay, look at how things have happened, right? We had the Me Too movement. You know how all these women have spoke up about being like sexually assaulted, family members, all people from all over, right? Like, and then you come out with this after. It's kind of a slap in the face to me. Like, oh, we don't care if y'all tell or not. Like, you keeping that baby if you end up with one. That's disrespectful.
Yeah. I mean, I have no argument.
Yeah, I think we can all agree that it's a terrible thing.
I'm just very interested to see how things go. Like, if this election happens and Trump is, you know, he wins again, which I think if we had the election today, he would win.
Yeah. I actually believe that. Yeah.
So I feel like we'll see. Give us a few years and we'll see how this plays out.
Well, to derail and answer something different.
Zombie apocalypse.
So you had something you want to
switching gears.
No, I'm good. I'm stuck right here.
Hey, that's about 2 times. No, we don't need a fourth.
We good.
I'm sorry.
Oh, my
God. I'm sorry.
It's my bike. I keep it at her house.
Fine. So I did want to ask you guys, what do you think about so you know, like Wendy Williams is getting her like new little freedom. Right. Well, I mean, whatever it is she's doing.
Oh, she did. I was about to make a statement.
I mean, that was probably just a jab at her husband. Like,
well, she said, "I got this person, I got that person."
Okay.
Does she?
Tell us the story too.
So it just made me start thinking about like toxic relationships and cutting people off, and like, what do you think? Like, for her to have been with him for what, like 20, 25 years, however long, that's such a long time. And to be able to make that decision he's also a business partner. He has such a huge part of her life. For her to make that decision to finally say enough is enough. And even with friends, to be able to walk away from them. Like, how do you cut them off?
People never cut people off right away.
That's big.
It's always a build up. You know what I mean? Until it's like you can't take it no more.
I think everyone has a breaking point. And the kid was the breaking point.
Yeah, because that kid's never going away. Like, that's a constant
that
walking
made it very
reminder.
real.
Like, everyone has the straw that broke the camel's back. Like, especially they say with women are very forgiving. But you push me to a point, then it is what it is. So I think at the end of the day, whether it's, you know, a mate, family, or a friend, everyone has a point where it's just like, you're not just gonna keep shitting on me. Like,
Stop setting yourself on fire to keep people warm.
Yeah, like I just can't keep doing it anymore. Yeah. And we've all had that moment. I've had that moment several times, especially with family. So, you know, everyone has a point.
See, I'm that person that's just so like, I remain loyal to time. And I'm kind of growing out of that. Like, look, I've known you 20 years. Like, I don't care what the situation is. I ain't going nowhere. Like, that's just what it is.
You might not have had anything extreme enough happen.
Yeah. Oh, buddy.
She said,
it's too personal to say.
She said, come walk with me.
Oh my
Walk
God.
in my shoes.
It's too personal to say. I mean, you don't have to. You don't want to.
We're not gonna talk about it. But yes, I've had situations where it's like, whoa, I'm not even sure you were ever my friend. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not sure.
Are you still friends with them now? Yes, you are.
We'll start the conversation with I remain loyal.
Why do that to yourself though? Like, I feel like the older we get, like, people wear down on you. Like, it's exhausting. Like, trying to keep friendships going, and you in the back of your mind, like,
this ain't it.
I low key don't want to be your friend because you treat me like shit. Like, why do that to yourself?
It's an abusive relationship.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing, like you said, it's an abusive relationship.
Yeah,
why it's the same? Why it's hard for women to leave?
Even if it's a mate, women or men, but even if it's a mate, just in general.
Yeah.
Why it's some type of hold. And I think, like, in that situation, like you said, they were married, they were business partners, so it's more than just oh, we grew up together or whatever. Like it's contracts involved.
Our
It's
lives
a child
completely
involved.
I don't know. She's doing a very good job in cutting him out. He's been
I mean,
off a lot.
She
I mean,
is, and that's great for her. But like she said, you know, and like you were kind of saying, this was probably a build up. She probably had been wanting to leave, or they have been having issues. Like all of this didn't just pop out of nowhere.
We didn't, because we heard about this.
Yeah, you
Them
know,
having issues a long time ago.
so I'm sure it took a lot of internal coercing to convince herself to do it. Like, and then when the baby came, it was like, oh yeah,
Now you just
fuck this,
out here
like,
loose.
yeah.
I personally think she was down. She was all right with the cheating. Like, I mean, at a certain level, I feel
that
like
way.
I'm not gonna leave you. You gonna do whatever it is you gonna do.
Don't be sloppy.
But exactly,
Girl,
don't bring it to my doorstep.
don't
You
get
know
me
what I'm
started on
saying?
that.
That's not cool. That's not cool.
What? No, it's not.
I'm like you don't deserve that. You know what I'm saying? You deserve for somebody to be with you
And just you.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
But
that's
black
not
man.
that's not acceptable.
But let me.
Everybody don't have that viewpoint.
I hear you, but
I mean, I got that. I got that.
Yeah,
Wait,
hold on, y'all.
But that viewpoint has been developed. It's like what you said, like, so someone else, one female started with that, like, whatever, I ain't gonna leave you, do you. And then she eventually left. However, now this guy is trained that I was with someone and she didn't care. So he's gonna take that same attitude into this next situation and act that way. And most of the time, because women are sometimes loyal to a fault, don't bring it to my doorstep. And now you continue the cycle, and now he's doing this to multiple women, and they're getting, now this wall is building and building and building. They're damaged and battered and and abused, and now when you get someone that feels like this young man does or whatever, it's like you so guarded you can't even accept what he's giving.
Preach, brother.
But on the other end of that, he's also allowing himself to be damaged where he doesn't even know how to be in a relationship because, oh, well, she let me do it, so let me try this with the next person. Instead of you just doing right. Like, why are you worried about what I'm going to allow you to do? Don't do it, So both people are screwed.
Don't even say that. Like, this is how I feel, right? If in a relationship, like, I'm not for you cheating on me at all. You get what I'm saying? But my thing is, like, because you're an adult, I can't force you not to. You're an adult. If you do cheat on me, I better not find out about it. So that's what I mean. Like,
but what you gonna do?
Don't be sloppy.
So here's the thing.
That's what follows.
I also
When
am
you
not.
find out about
I'm not the person to
no.
go looking
Don't
for
let
it
me-
either. I'm not going to look for it.
No,
So
we're not
get
talking
mad,
about
I get
looking for
even.
it.
I'm not gonna play the same game. Everybody play.
I'm not
this what
saying-
we doing?
No,
Cool.
I'm not saying that you're going to. What are you going to do? Because you said, what movie was it? When it was
don't
like,
say nothing. Don't.
if you don't say nothing, you become another woman. Who said that?
Oh, it was on Tony the
Yeah,
Braxton
she was
Family
like,
Values.
if you know about something,
And you
say,
allow
and
it?
you speak up, bring it or whatever, bring it to the table. Now you allowed it, you brought it to the table. It's on the table. We both know it's happening, and
Now
you keep
you
it going. Now you're the other one.
That's if you keep it going. But they also said, I forgot who said it. It was one of the Braxtons. They was like, don't say anything about it if you plan on staying.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Because once you say something and you allow it to keep happening,
It's just gonna get worse.
Nah.
What's up, Tim? What's on your mind?
Like, why can't I say something?
No, but don't stay is what we're saying. Like, either you go. So
Here's I love you. Like, if I'm with him and I love him, and okay, you might have done whatever you did. I don't agree with it, and I think you might be scum. But am I willing to like walk away from my marriage? So yes, I'm going to have that conversation with him.
Yeah,
Yes, I'm not begging you to be different, but I'm saying, hey, I know about this.
You gotta go
I
through
understand something happened, but like,
Well,
baby boy, we gotta figure it
I'm not
out.
saying don't
Baby
have
boy,
the
baby
conversation.
boy.
I'm not saying don't have the conversation. Once you have the conversation, if the action doesn't change,
Oh, I'll give you
Yeah,
that, because
yeah.
everything after that is now a decision.
Oh, okay.
Like you've now decided after I've told you how I felt.
To
After
keep
I've
doing it.
right, so
You
now
decided the first time.
Hello.
Come on, I'm just saying.
No, you
I
right.
understand.
You right.
Because nowadays when you meet people
But people do make mistakes.
I get it, but you made a mistake and I'm not gonna curse on you.
You didn't.
I mean,
slip
we
into
do.
the
Oh, y'all do.
PSS
You made a
line.
mistake and fuck somebody? Like, you don't make a mistake and fuck nobody. That's a decision.
It was.
I chose to get naked and do this. or whatever. You know what I'm
But
saying?
then there's also factors, and I'm not arguing like for anybody who's
Y'all
cheating,
silly.
but I recognize the factors of it though.
Like what?
Like you was drunk,
So
you was
I'm,
high.
I'm an adult. I get high all the time. But I don't get high and be like, oh, let me get high and have sex with this girl. No, I get high and be like, she look good. Let me flirt with her and see.
Or stuff might not
You
be
got
going
morals,
right at
don't
home.
you?
Stuff I'm not, huh?
Stuff might not be going right at home.
That's right. You got if you love the girl,
If you
gotta
create the perfect storm, I'm not
perfect
arguing
storm.
for it,
The
but
perfect
you don't
storm.
think you
That's some shit.
do you not see that?
Oh my!
I
Here
do,
go
but,
Mo B.
but it's I don't know. I just feel like it be excuses. If we kicking it and I love you and we together, you love me, and we compatible, and you give me what I want and I'm giving you what you want.
Right.
What the fuck am I doing then?
That's the reality of
I
the
mean,
situation.
I think
Mo B
that's
said-
what most women want.
Mo B said no, it was an accident.
We
What was the
know.
accident?
He,
That
Mo
he
B is
slipped
He
in.
always saying something to
Hey,
just disagree
I-
with everything that a sane person would say.
Yeah, you know, it's all good. We just accidentally fuck. I was high. I was high, baby. I was smoking that runts, that white runts. Man, every time I smoke that white runts,
I get naked.
I'm falling to simplicity.
I get naked. So
How do I sound?
I hit the
Wait,
button
so
twice.
this is gonna be my advice. When certain stuff happen, you gotta like write down what happened and then read it out loud.
Damn.
That's what you gotta do. And then when you read it out loud, you'll be like, that sounds like some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm gonna say. Cause
It's
Hey.
true.
No, it's true. Like Keith said, I think ultimately, like, you know what you're doing. It's always a choice. Now, again, like you said, if there's other stuff going on in the perfect storm and we talk about it and it doesn't happen again, you're married, fine. But once it happens again, you made the decision twice.
Right.
Okay, so
Even
Mo
after
B
knowing
said
how it felt.
people make mistakes every day. Yeah. Do y'all believe in once a cheater, always a cheater then? Because if what y'all saying is, okay, if you forgive them and you expect it to not happen again, most people think like, oh, if they did it once, it's gonna happen again.
I think it depends on the reason.
I think you have to really go. It's a case by case basis. You know, it ultimately depends on you.
What if it's a man? They said men don't need a reason.
But here's the thing. It also
women don't need a
It
reason.
depends.
They say
A lot of women don't need a reason, but it also depends on
I be
you.
messing with some fire.
At the end of the day, the person that is being cheated on and or whatever that's on the latter part of the situation is what you want to do. Now you decide, you have this conversation, y'all say, I'm sorry, I'm gonna work on it. All right, cool. And then you don't think it's being worked on. Now it's your decision. It's, you know, you can't go off, you know, the cliche, once a cheater, always a cheater. You know, you
I was
just,
asking y'all, do y'all believe that?
I mean, I believe.
I think
I was
people are reasonable.
Redeemable.
I was believe that. I mean, believe. My grandmother told me like a leopard don't change the spots. However, people
When somebody show you who they are,
believe
them.
that. However,
So you've never done anything?
However, people still can change. Like just because I still have the capacity to do something, don't mean I didn't consciously make a decision not to. So I still do it. Probably didn't try to do it and it got shot down. But you know, the fact is that I have to now consciously make this decision not to do it. So, in all honesty, if it's something that I've done before or I would like to do, I have the capacity to still do it. I think that's what that means by a leopard doesn't change the spots. If I did something, yes, it's very much possible for me to do it
That
again.
you put yourself in that situation again.
It's very much possible. Now that I know what I have the ability to lose or the ability to sacrifice whatever, I have to consciously not do it.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying that, you know, people can't change, but it's a conscious decision to change. It's not like I change, you know.
That's true.
So, however, sorry, you have something you want to bring up?
Oh no, I had a thought on this though. What we were talking about. So no, no, because my thing is real quick while we close that out is that it's always okay. Make the choice to leave, but if you continuously cheat on this person, obviously you're not satisfied with them. Why don't you leave?
Why don't you just leave?
And that's my rebuttal to that. And we can move on if you like.
So how you gonna
But
say
why-
something?
why-
No, because
Why leave when you can have your cake and eat it too?
Because you're a shitty person. Like
That's
so.
honest. I'm just saying. That's usually what happens, right? They get a little bit of what they like at home, even though things might not be perfect. But they getting what they don't have at home someplace else.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just as screwed up. That's my point. It's like a lot of times it gets
But
put on the person.
no,
Like,
that's
you should
what we-
leave if they cheat on you.
You're right, but
If
that's
you
the
want
last-
to cheat on me, why don't you leave?
You're right, but that's the last person that's probably gonna break this relationship up. If they getting what they want outside and inside, they the last ones that's gonna stop that.
People become extremely comfortable. I used to know this guy. He's probably in his late 60s, early 70s now, but you would never know it. He was just straight up and straight to the point. Like, I'm never leaving my wife. We've got a whole life built together. Like, I'm never leaving her. So you could not talking directly to me. Like a girl
that.
I'm about to be like, I'm mad.
a girl could never be in that position. Well, yeah, I'm willing to go play. I go do all this other stuff. He was like, I think she got a boyfriend.
No.
He truly believed that his wife had a boyfriend, so he was like, I just need company. I just need somebody to talk to on Thursdays when she's working at Joanne Fabric.
What?
People will put themselves through like just some ridiculous situations to keep from being alone.
Yeah, I mean, because I think at the end of the day, we all just need to be with somebody.
Moby
You all
said,
do.
why leave a good woman?
What? Okay. You know what? Moving on.
You know what? You need therapy.
I did want to bring up this topic because I was presented with it like in 2 different instances today alone, but I'm gonna just give you the gist of it. Basically, the conversation came up about, I guess I'll use the word strict parents. So the situation is you're an adult or you're a college student and you go home for the holiday. Your mate wants to come with you and your parents say you can't sleep in the same room. Is that a problem or are we good with this? Because in this situation, this person was mad and it's like, it's a weekend, relax. Like,
No,
what?
you can't.
No.
That's these new kids.
Hey, that's honest.
Because I graduated from school and I ain't gonna go there. But I graduated from college about a little minute ago. When I used to come home,
probably the same time we did.
right, 06 is when I graduated.
Oh,
No, I'm still in high
Oh,
school.
you don't? No,
you weren't.
A year before us.
No, you weren't.
We came out in 07.
I
Right.
tried.
I
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Cool.
I was still in high school. Were you?
Nah.
But yeah, when I would come home, that thought didn't even cross my mind. I was like, I do all that at school. When I come back home, hey mama, all right, yeah, let me get a couple dollars. Eat good. You know what I'm saying?
Can I wash my phone?
Right. See my homies, and maybe if you had a job, you back out, but you ain't about to be doing all that.
I still didn't even
I
like
think
kissing
that's
my
disrespectful.
boyfriend in front of my parents, and I was like mid-20s.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So at what age is that a problem for you, or are you good with it? Because my mom
You ain't
probably
fucking
still
my
to
house.
this day will not. If y'all ain't married, why y'all sleeping in the same bed?
Mhm.
You know.
That's
Uncle
old school.
lives in Virginia. He didn't get married till probably about 10 years ago. When he came home to my grandma's house, they either did not stay there,
Right.
or they wasn't in the same spot.
All right.
Like,
Yeah.
That's
It's
old school teaching though. Like that's
no, it's old. It's just a level of respect.
No, what I'm saying is that's what it is. It's old school teaching. He was raised by someone, by your grandmother, and she wasn't having it. She still had morals. She stood on something. He was scared, even at 16 years old. You know,
Like, nah, I
yeah,
don't want those problems.
like
Not up in here.
that type of fear is not being placed in kids. Like
Nope.
the type of respect,
That's
the
true.
level of respect for parents from their children is not there anymore.
That's
To
okay.
the point where, like, hey, yeah, so I'm sleeping in here. Nigga, my mama downstairs. No, you're not. I might creep in and sneak, but we're not gonna be off in the same room
Right.
for sure.
And then both come down for breakfast. In the
Yeah,
morning. I knew
I got the bottom, you got the top.
No, that's where you in school, in your dorm, and y'all doing college stuff.
Right. And separate and apart.
You know college stuff.
But I had some people in the chat who are our age who are like, nah, that's ridiculous. Like, I'm grown. I do that
You don't pay
when
no
I'm
bills.
away.
We
So
talking
why do
about coming back from college, or we talking about like in our
I think
30s
it, like,
right
even
now?
now.
I mean, period. So that's
My
why I
mom
posed the
cared. My
question,
mom
like,
gave
what
it back.
age is it? Like, F this, you know? Like, at what age are you saying that, Mom, that's ridiculous?
But see,
Oh,
that's
what
the thing.
age?
Like, you don't have to say F this. You just don't stay there.
Right.
Yep.
You just don't stay
It's
there.
a
right.
If you don't agree with it, I'm not going to go home and be combative. This is their house.
Right. So what if that's not even her rule?
What do you mean?
What if your mom was like, yo, I'm cool with it? Are you gonna be cool with it?
Oh, that's interesting.
What
What
you
you
mean?
cool with?
So if your parents is like, you know, I made up the bed for room for you. I made up your room for y'all.
It's a condom. It's a condom shop.
Oh God!
First of all,
I made up your room for y'all.
I'm gonna go cry in the corner. If my mom ever tell me I got some condoms on the top of the pillow, I'm gonna say, I know you fucking lying. Somebody took over your body. Me and my mom don't. I can't even talk about sex and look my mom in the
Yeah.
eye. So, me and Soraya said the same thing. I could be holding my child. I'm not gonna say I ever had
I didn't have
sex.
sex.
The
I had
second
sex.
coming of Jesus.
I'm
Oh, immaculate conception.
We ain't about to talk about it. I know that.
Oh my
She ain't
God.
stupid. But we ain't got to talk about it.
Right.
Your mom walk in like, you know, I tried this new thing.
Oh,
We don't.
get out!
You got to do this twirl thing. It's crazy. Let me tell you.
Oh,
I am wounded.
That's a problem.
Spin.
Oh no, you gotta go.
No, your mama come through with the grapefruit.
damn, mama.
Nah, it's enough for me, dog.
First of all, I forgot all about that. I'm leaving.
Like,
If she did something, I'm gone. You hear me?
so,
I probably not.
so-
I won't come back for a
so,
week.
so you come home.
That's
If
gross.
you come home,
No.
you're like, Mom, you know, I'm having some problems. We
Uh-uh.
get into it all the time. We always argue.
I
We
don't
always
talk-
fight.
We ain't
No,
talking about
but
that.
No, we're not even talking about sex. You like, yeah, we always fight. We get into it. Like, I really want to, want to make this work. She said, you know what? I got a trick for you. 1 second. She go out. She come back and get a grapefruit.
Dog.
and you
Dog.
like,
Shut that bad boy up.
just do this.
Whatever's on the table.
I'm knocking it out her hand.
Knocked
Yeah.
off, and I'm leaving.
Stop it.
And I'm gonna flip the table over. That ain't funny.
I would laugh.
I'm gonna flip the table over and leave.
And she get the going. Like,
She ain't gonna see me for a week. I'm dead ass.
all right,
No.
so the consensus is
Not
that
up in here.
It's a no.
It's a hard no.
Not at the house.
Yeah, we agree. We all agree that that's fair.
That's uncomfortable.
Just come by and eat dinner.
Mo D said you can't say anything. You don't pay any bills there.
And that's true.
Right.
That's
your
What
house.
if you do though? Some people do take care.
Some
of their
people do.
Well, that's a
You
different
still
set of
gotta
circumstances.
no, you still gotta
respect the
respect your
parent.
parents.
Yeah.
True,
That's true.
true.
Some people-
But I mean, hey, I pay the rent. I'm having.
I think it.
But if you, I think it's a different dynamic if your parent lives with you, as opposed to like you're
Y'all
living with your
together,
parent
or you
and
live
paying some
No,
bills.
I'm talking about like for I can't talk. So like you like legitimately paying the bills. Like you don't even stay there. And
Oh,
you
that
take, and
kinda-
you take care of you know what I'm saying?
Well, then why you
Fill it
gotta have
out for
sex
me,
there?
dog.
Huh?
Why you gotta have sex there?
No, I'm posing a question. I'm not saying you have to.
I mean, that's my answer.
No, it was a little aggressive though.
You jump
Are
in
you
quick.
sensitive like a flower today?
Oh,
I mean,
Jelly cake.
when somebody go, where's the kid?
my ears.
Where's the kid? Like, maybe I get a little.
I didn't know my mic was that loud.
Yeah, you turned up. I wasn't ready.
Okay.
Do you have a topic?
I had one.
That sounds like enough.
Yeah. I got some good stuff.
Useless, like Brand.
He didn't watch it, so
Like
we're not
Brand-
going.
That's all I'm gonna say.
We're
Of all the names,
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody just be
What
quiet.
y'all gonna not do?
We're not gonna do no Game of Thrones
We're
spoilers.
in this show right now.
I'm not gonna ruin it for you, but
No.
I'm just saying.
Sid, what else you got?
Hey, I'm just gonna say this. I love some Daenerys. Like, she fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
But she gotta have the white hair. When I see her,
You don't
like,
like
white
it? She
hair,
look
regular.
basic.
she ain't as cute.
She look basic.
All of her little
So
features look better with the white
She
hair and the
looks-
braids.
That's honest.
Yeah, that's being for
basic
real.
without
She
the
a
hair.
cutie with the no.
That's right. That's honest.
I love my sisters, but I'll be like, you ain't fly on them dragons, girl.
you got to bring the dragon.
Come on down 8 Mile with that dragon.
Oh my God.
So I do have a topic. So no, I got one. I ain't appreciate that. I got one.
Looks like you got your thoughts, man.
Yeah, it is. So how do you all feel about like I dealt with this last year in Montgomery the past, and I don't think as well my family, so I'm not gonna say it's a cultural thing, but my family and some of my friends, I don't think we prepare for certain situations properly.
Absolutely not.
What?
Switching gears.
No, he didn't switch gears. He said he got, you know what?
I know.
I'm going to let you live.
I know where she's going with this.
I
Continue.
don't.
Continue.
Go
Please
ahead.
continue.
No, I want to know where I'm going with it now.
What she's saying is that she had that topic written down and you told her no, you were good. And then you
That's
brought
not
it
what
up
she
in-
pointed at.
Oh, he wanted the perk like it was his. Look, that's fine.
You could have kept going. I ain't
But
even
that's
going
not
to
what
put
she
you on.
All right.
Yeah, so-
Continue.
What did
Like I
Brian
was
say?
saying, shit.
No, I do. You're saying like people not having their affairs in order.
Yeah, not having affairs in order, and not even just their affairs in order. Like some people, like for instance, I came across someone today, and their parent thought they had their affairs in order, and it wasn't. Everything, like, you need to have not just beneficiaries. Like on certain accounts, we think a beneficiary is what it is. We think power of attorney is what it is. We think a will means something. It means nothing legally. A will is for the family. A will is for you to come out and say, yeah, so Junebug, you get the car. Lil Ray, you get the.
So what you mean? It means nothing.
It means like if you brought a will to the bank, it means nothing.
Why?
Because it's not legally.
If
You
on my
like an executor.
if on my ID it say Junebug and it say Junebug get this, then why not?
It's not a legal document. It's not a
Okay, because unless like an attorney drew up the papers
no,
for you.
even if an attorney drew it up, it's not a legal document for the bank. You can't come here and say, my mama told me to come take over her account, and it's right here, and you hand this to the bank, they're going to be like, all right, cool, we're going to give you the money. It's not a legal document for the bank.
So what happens to the money?
Probate court.
If you don't have, so for that, you can have a beneficiary. But if like it's a trust, or if it's, you have to either have a conservator, or it's certain things for different types of accounts, but you have to have it set up, and then not like you said, you got to go to probate. And when you go to probate, then you're labeled.
Take your money.
They don't. It will go to probate, but someone from the family can go, or whomever can go to probate and become the representative. Once you become the representative by the courts, then you got full power to do whatever you need to do. But it's not just the banks. It's a lot of different things, and we don't prepare. You know, how many people of our age that really got life insurance? In all honesty,
I do.
I mean, I got it because
This is sad. My mom took life insurance out on me.
my grandma had my grandma had two
Probably like,
policies
you
on
know
me.
what? You going to the club too much? About to go get some life
Let me
insurance
get
on you?
my
No, I think it's still going.
My grandma had two policies, but you don't have it for yourself also?
No, because she has one for me.
No, you should get one also.
You don't have one through your job?
I mean, yeah, that's just automatic though. Like my mom will get will get my salary if I die. That type of.
So I have.
I have her down as a person to get it. You get what I'm saying?
What do you mean get your salary? Like
It's
worth of your salary? Or?
Yes. Like they'll pay like a certain amount. Like it'll say ×1 your salary if I die, right?
Oh.
That's not a life insurance policy though.
No, but I mean, what else would she need?
You still want to get a life insurance policy?
What else would she need though?
Well, first of all, do you know
to bury me?
So you may have things that linger. Let's pray you don't go before she does. But you may have things that she may have to take care of. Like, is the policy that she has going to be enough to bury you? Because this thing's changed. Like my grandmother had like $5-6 grand. She got it 40 years ago, and she thought that was going to be enough. 5-6 grand then was probably enough. It's not enough now.
Yeah.
So when you're talking to like especially older people, I got it, baby, it's cool. I got the paperwork, everything's good.
They ain't got it.
They ain't got. You have to always look at that stuff because just like inflation happens with everything else, it happens with the cost of burial, the cost of anything. So you always have to readjust and look at those things and make sure she has enough. I mean,
it's up to date with the
and
time.
not even just that though. Like I don't know your full dynamic, but if you may help her out in other ways, you're not there to help her out in those ways anymore. You might want to have something set up for that. So it's just certain things that we have to look at that we don't.
My dad always makes comments like, oh, you'll probably get this house, like that type of thing, but it ain't on paper. You know what I mean? Not yet. Yeah.
You need to be either get on the deed or, you need to have certain stuff because not even just that, just for, what if somebody, because my daddy got a lot of kids. And all I need is for somebody to come up like, I
came before you.
You're right. Or where my cut, or whatever the case may be, somebody I ain't never heard of. And if nothing is on paper and nothing put down and it's done the proper way, now you in court fighting. And then it's to the best man at the end of the day.
That's my Sid P said, life insurance is okay. Do an IRA instead.
I got an IRA too.
So here's the thing with that.
You got your whole life.
That,
don't
so
you?
I get where he's going with that, but an IRA it deals with the market. You know what I'm saying? So this life insurance policy is going to be what it is. You know, he's more so talking about
just have the money,
right? You know,
be able to bury you,
right? Yeah. So
yeah,
make sure you're covered is what I'm talking about. IRA is more so it's a retirement thing. It's a different bag. But when we're talking about just for making sure things can be taken care of, I pay this policy. As long as ain't no funny business and I ain't trying to take myself out, this policy is going to pay out. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. So, but not just, thinking of that part. It's just a lot of things that the conversation that we don't have.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. To go back to your question, like, kind of like, why are things the way it are? Why are things the way
It's morbid. No one wants to talk about that.
Yeah. It's a depressing subject.
I mean, but who wants to be left with, like, I don't know where mama's life insurance policy is. I don't know where daddy's paperwork is. Right. So we just got to front all of this money, and we can't provide them with the service that they deserve. Because
now nobody fund me.
Right.
I think if we start the conversation just like, some people talk about like having sex education talk a little earlier. If we just make it a normal thing, like, hey, this is a part of life. Death is a part of life. Teach kids about, not kids, but teenagers, maybe the ones going to college who will get a job when they get out of college. Yeah. They should have, matter of fact,
because you need to know about it. You need to know what to pick. You need to know how to supply your retirement,
how to plan for that. Should be like to be honest, that should be like a requirement for college students.
High school requirement.
Yeah, or that. Like how these are like, this is what you need to learn to be able to plan for your future successfully. Because
you're hilarious.
A lot of us don't know still.
You're hilarious. And it's more depressing when you have to start a GoFundMe. Yeah. Trust me, especially when you're grieving. Now you fishing for the funds. Yeah. One thing I'm gonna tell you about when it's time to do everything, ain't no IOUs, ain't no line of credit. You ain't got.
That's how they gonna collect.
You ain't got they. Well, they can collect from the family, but I'm saying, like, even if I wanted to come and sign my life, they not accepting none of that. They need right now
in your hand,
and it ain't like literally rolled up to us at the reviewing. Y'all got that check.
Ain't mad at it. It's a business.
Like, y'all got that check because if we don't get this check today, no one's going in the ground or no one's nothing's happening.
They did that the day of.
Yeah, because we had a balance. Well, the day before. It was the day before we had a balance. And they rolled up. We need to start the other in the corner. We got a balance, because the service is the next day. And once we take the body, put it in the ground, we done what we supposed to do. What do we have to hold against you? I mean, I put it on your credit. People got so much on their credit they don't care about.
Just wait till it fall off.
I wasn't telling you.
I'll go file bankruptcy. You know what I'm saying? So they want it right now.
That's money in sight saves a hell of a fight.
Yeah. Money in sight.
Get your money up front.
That's a nice little quote.
I like that.
So it's just, and it was just something I wanted to at least start a conversation about because we just we don't.
We avoid it.
I agree. Yeah. Just get all of your stuff in order. Even with life insurance, that's cool. We absolutely need that. But your things, how you want your final arrangements to go.
Do y'all know?
No.
I do.
I know.
I mean,
I know what I want.
Yeah, I do too.
I don't. They got this thing where they make you, they cremate you and make you into a tree. So,
I thought you was about to say something about getting frozen or something.
No, come on, man. I mean, but I will say this. Like, I know y'all about to be like, I would like for them to make me into a tree, but make me into a weed plant. Oh, Lord.
Man, I was riding with you.
I know. We right up to the end.
Come on, man.
Why you real?
That was just a hard
that was a smooth laugh.
You want somebody to smoke your body?
It's not my body. It's my essence. You know,
are you high now?
Are you gonna determine?
I mean, I smoked earlier.
Are you gonna determine where it's distributed to?
Man, I don't know. You don't have to smoke it, but I just would.
I mean,
it grow into a dope tree and be smelling good. And
are you gonna be an upper or down there?
Fact, I'm gonna be a hybrid.
Get a little bit of both.
Yeah, it's gonna be crossed.
Oh my God.
So I know, but all jokes aside, it's something that I really would like consider because I'm like. They don't have to bury me and all that, you know. Once I'm done, but yeah, light me up. Even if you just wanted to just take the bush and just put it on the fire and just Let it just
and let everybody catch
let everybody just
essence.
You say, what is that? That's that Cool Breeze OG.
Yeah,
That smells
that is
great.
10.
You're hilarious that I want John Legend to sing at my funeral. Morgan Freeman to read my obituary.
Oh, that would be fire.
I know.
We'll still be here too.
We wanted to read
Morgan Freeman
Morgan Freeman.
Could you imagine?
Oh,
He
Lord.
had a great life.
on the day.
I know.
On the day.
He had a great life. He did a lot of walking.
Make him see
Read their footsteps.
Good night.
Aaron, what were your plans?
I just donate everything. If I'm like, if anything works on me, give it away.
Oh, you on some 7 pounds type stuff?
I didn't even see that movie.
Now my eyes are
No, I put like, organ donor on my license or whatever you can take from me.
Mm-hmm.
Eyelids, eyelashes, whatever.
Whoa.
I don't need no casket. You know, but clearly I won't have nothing to put in there. But
Yeah, after that, they just cremate
That's what I
your
mean.
remains.
right,
Probably.
I mean that's pretty cheap.
And they make it into a tree.
Where do you want your ashes spread? Okay. Where do you want your ashes spread? At a dog park.
Wow.
So they can piss on you? I was joking.
Oh, that's terrible. I'm like dogs.
They probably got a nice bush or something out there that's off
The
limits.
Aaron
Or something.
Bush.
Sure.
The Bush or
And
Aaron.
y'all gonna walk by and be like, "Hey, go piss on her real quick." That would be you, Jeff.
Oh my God.
You already said you was gonna get a dog and train him to attack me.
Yes.
No dog has ever attacked me. They love me. They love me. They know
We're
I'm
coming
the
to a
person when they
close,
see
so I
me.
would like to end on a happy note.
We did a lot of twisted turns.
We did.
Your face when I said
But
that, you was like, why would you want to do that? Why? You want somebody to smoke your body?
I was riding with the tree like, wow,
That's
man.
real
Get
deep
back to the
profile.
planet.
Yeah, you could easily come back as an oak.
Okay. No.
Man.
Before we get out of here, listen, I wanted to talk about, because I saw a post on this earlier, about songs that we had no business singing when we were younger.
Seems like it's
Oh, no.
All of R. Kelly's catalog.
Remember Tevin Campbell? Break it down.
That was my
What?
jam.
My man
y'all.
said, yeah, you. It's my jam too.
Hold
But
on.
I'm just
I
saying.
like my home, man. My shoulder.
No, I said Tevin Campbell.
I'm talking about Butter Love.
Yeah, I know.
What's
You
your
got that
song?
love, man.
Yeah.
That was nasty.
But
too.
break it down. Wasn't we a little
I don't
older when that
remember that
came
song.
No,
out?
I
Y'all know that
I had
song.
homework.
Break
Sing
it
it.
down.
Yeah, he said,
I'm
You're
Oh,
hilarious.
Like,
Too.
oh,
Said
yeah.
Jeff want to be buried in the bins with all his Rolex watches.
Oh.
What you want?
way to go.
Oh, I thought you was gonna agree.
No, I don't have not near me.
Not yet.
Yeah.
You ain't dead yet.
Yeah, I'm not.
Okay, I see y'all want to end on
Why you
that.
I
gonna
was
speak
saying,
on?
I was still on this R.
Go
Kelly
back
thing.
to this. Go back to the song.
The island.
I just clearly remember knowing all the words to Adina Howard in the 5th grade.
Girl,
Yeah.
I still love that song, and I still remember when I was in the car with my mom, she cut it off.
I'm like,
What
what?
is this? Girl, that was my
Oh, it
song.
went.
As a
It
DJ,
went.
I still throw that in.
Yeah, you got to.
love
You
that
got
Get the right
song.
crowd. That's you know who you got in there.
No, my God. Wait a minute.
You be like, I see you.
You old
Put your
school.
tongue in your mouth.
Dog. That made me think of movies we shouldn't have been watching either. Friday.
Yeah.
First of all, I remember Belly.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
We
classic.
used to watch that at your house.
over and over again, but I used to rewind the sex scene.
Booty call?
Ooh.
Black movies back then. I'm pretty sure we should.
We had no business.
Can we name one good black movie besides like Color Purple or something?
I swear that was the first one that came to
Wholesome?
mind.
Something wholesome?
Something good.
Something that you could comfortably watch with your parents.
Yeah.
Family Matters?
That's not what we said.
I know. I know.
Hold on.
Coming to America.
Okay. Well, no, because the royal penis is clean, your highness.
But that wasn't
That was out the gate. That was like the
That's not it.
second line in the
That's
movie.
Titties out too.
Yeah, it was titties, damn, I forgot.
Yeah.
And booty cheeks.
Okay, hold on. Now you got me thinking.
That's bad. That's really bad if we can't come up with
Wait.
a
I know,
No,
and I'm really
something
trying to
wholesome.
think of one good black movie that's, you know,
Malcolm X.
it's sad to the mother.
But it's real. It's a good movie.
But you can always watch a.
But you let a kid watch that though.
You can always watch a biography.
Why not?
It's real life.
Right.
At what age?
It's education.
Right.
But
Maybe
come on,
like 10?
a fictional movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, not a.
Are we there
Like
yet?
a Medea movie of the 90s.
No.
Oh,
No, I'm saying
man, that's,
Okay.
that's
Get
sad.
it out.
Now watch when I leave here, I'm gonna come up with
I
all
know
kinds
it's
of
gonna be
movies.
all
I'm the
yeah.
wrong person to ask. I ain't seen that.
None of the clumps in
The 90s
Oh
was
no, the Clumps was the 90s.
The 90s was all about funny
Yeah.
though.
Nutty Professor.
2000. I think the Nutty Professor 2 song. I was in high school when that song came
Oh,
out. I remember that.
Okay, so Nutty Professor 2 came out in 2000s. Then I know Nutty
The
Professor
first
came
one.
out in like
We
90s.
just
Yeah.
shouldn't struggle to
I
find.
know.
Dr.
That's what I'm saying.
Doolittle.
Okay.
There you go. Good job.
That's how we gonna
When
end
y'all,
it.
when y'all said Nutty Professor, it made me.
a lot of his movies though during the 90s
Were pretty wholesome.
wholesome.
That's honest.
Who?
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy. Like what?
All of that.
You name another.
All of the Nutty Professors. He had Dr. Little 1 and 2. Then he do what was the one when he was like a robot or?
Why am I trying to help you when I keep coming up with
Meet
inappropriate
Dave.
stuff?
Meet Dave. He had some people.
No idea.
No, that was later because Kevin Hart was in that. That wasn't in the 90s.
I mean, Kevin Hart.
This is true. But
I keep trying to help you with that because I love Eddie Murphy, but
you got
I'm coming up
nothing.
with inappropriate stuff. Like,
We gonna
dog, remember, what is it? Don't
be a menace to something. Had no business watching that.
Bruh, we had that on tape. Look at them freaks dancing on the
And
dance
they
floor.
was naked as
Dude.
Okay,
The
so
most wholesome movies I watched probably in the 90s were white teen movies.
Yeah. I mean,
She's All That,
That might have been all there was.
Clueless.
Yeah.
A classic.
rolling with the homies.
First of all, I thought that was coming from me. I wasn't looking at you when you said.
I had to look
First
around.
of all,
Who
I
did
used to
that?
sing. I used to sing a little bit.
Oh
so he didn't sound bad, so I was like, oh, that's fine. I was like, well, he's a man. So,
Hey man, look, because I was around women.
Said you got a baritone.
Oh
Sorry,
my God.
Sorry, I'm here. I'm a DJ.
No, you good. You good. You good. No.
You're hilarious that I got caught watching What's Love Got to Do with It.
Oh, bruh, that was
They
classic.
let me watch that.
I watched that.
Oh,
I was like,
God.
she's so strong.
You're hilarious.
Strong black woman.
You're hilarious.
I was like, just sing the song right there.
Call me. First of all,
That song right
they're attacking me online.
I see it.
You're hilarious that Aaron a freak is.
Oh my
But I'm
God.
saying the same thing y'all saying. It was that belly comment, wasn't it?
Uh-huh.
I am what I am.
Which one? Okay, which one did you prefer? Which one did you more relate to? The nice, smooth, making love scene? Or
Oh,
you just
now
get
you're
toe
going
up?
too deep.
Or you just get toe up?
Wait, which
Your
smooth?
secret.
Which smooth making love scene? We talking about belly scene?
Yeah, with belly.
I know you're not talking about with T-Bows and
Yeah,
Nas.
Nas, that was
Smooth
smooth.
was whack.
Well, she
You
just
know what
answered.
you
Damn.
like.
There you go.
You know what you
It
like.
was whack though, was it not?
They was in love.
You know what you
Bullshit. That wasn't an in love kind of movie.
My dad's listening.
Sorry, Dad.
I think, did my dad love it?
Sorry, Dad.
Because I ain't gonna be able to look him in the eye either.
They gonna be that Cool Breeze guy.
I literally
I'm like,
watched
what gonna do?
everything at my dad's house though. So.
You can watch it with him though.
Oh no, absolutely not.
Oh, okay.
I still don't like watching
Sex scenes.
with my
Oh
mom.
yeah, I mean, it happens sometimes, and you just gotta sit there awkwardly shifting back and
Not,
forth.
and
Ooh,
not looking
hello?
side to side. You gotta straight to TV.
Well, this has been another amazing show.
I gotta wrap it up now. No pun intended.
We're gonna move on that note. Appreciate you, Cool Breeze, man.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good time.
I appreciate you guys. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all do Cool Breeze now.
Yeah, I know. We gotta make
On
sure.
Instagram, at Cool Breeze now.
What was it? He giving his handle. All right. Hello.
Yeah. So be sure to tune in next week. Of course, we're gonna have we have the ladies of the Conrad House.
Okay. Oh, nice.
So we're good to go check that out on Wednesday. Hopefully, everyone's still available. No, told her about it a long time ago.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. Told you about it when
I come back on Tuesday, so I'll be there.
Where are you going to get now?
LA.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What's going on in LA?
Yeah. I hope she ain't listening.
She not.
I ain't gotta worry about that. So a couple of us are going to surprise her for her birthday.
Nice.
Her birthday is today, so we'll be there Saturday. And I'm gonna walk in like a Oh boy.
Oh yeah, don't come in here on that
with the
bullshit.
If y'all seen that video, that's how I'm walking in her
It's one of
home.
my favorites.
Yeah.
I love that.
You know what we're talking
Yeah,
about.
I know exactly.
You know I walk in.
Terrible.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm down
He
with
get it too.
Yeah, he did. I'm gonna watch that when we're done. Anyway.
Terrible. All right, well, everybody be sure to tune in. Like I said, next week we'll be live as always. This is your man, Jay Leagues. We're rocking with the Culture Girl, Cure? Yeah.
You almost had it.
This is your man, Jay Leagues, and you have been rocking with the Culture Cure. I hate you all.
Bye.
yourself.
You almost had it.